If your strategy looks solid, but your results keep falling short, this video will show you what's really breaking down and how to fix it. You'll learn how to tighten your execution, stay consistent, and finally unlock the results your plan was designed to deliver. If that's the edge you've been chasing, hit that subscribe button. You backtest for weeks, maybe months. You clean up the rules, get strict on the entries. You even stop revenge trading for a few days. And for a moment, it feels like you've finally cracked it. Then the losing starts again. But not wild losses, just slow, subtle, frustrating slippage. An early entry here, a missed target there. And you say what every determined trader eventually says, I guess this strategy doesn't work anymore. But what if I told you the strategy didn't fail? What if it was something smaller, but far more dangerous? Something hiding between the rules? Let me tell you what I wish someone told me when I started trading smart money structures. It's not enough to have a solid plan. It's not even enough to execute it once or twice. What separates those who stay in the game from those who quit, burn out, or blow up is this. They build execution habits so clean that even on a bad day, they don't deviate. The trader who becomes consistent isn't the one with the best system. It's the one who learns how to make fewer decisions and stick to them like they're sacred. I remember a day I journaled religiously. I marked out my POI. My setup had clean structure, but I jumped in a candle early. Why? Because I felt the market was about to go. Felt, not followed. That trade lost. The next one I skipped because I wasn't sure anymore. That one won. Now I wasn't just down in my account, I was unraveling. That's how most traders bleed, not with bad strategies, but with execution erosion. And no one talks about this. Everyone's quick to say strategy when they lose. Few stop and ask, was I even following my plan? Or was I freelancing? Let me ask you this. If you took every trade exactly as you planned this month, entries, exits, risk size, timing, would you be profitable? If the answer is yes, your strategy didn't fail. Your consistency did. And that's fixable, but only if you're honest enough to admit it. Let's break it down. There are 5 invisible gaps that quietly destroy your trading, even when your setup is solid. Gap 1, the execution gap. This is the space between knowing the rule and actually following it under pressure. You'll hear traders say things like, I was waiting for the break and retest, but the price started running, so I jumped in early. Or it was almost at my POI, close enough. Close enough isn't good enough. That tiny compromise becomes the seed of inconsistency. And when inconsistency shows up, confidence leaves. It's not that the strategy failed, it's that you didn't wait for the rules to be met fully. You might have had a 70% setup, but the 30% you ignored, that's where the market punished you. Want to know how pros become pros? They trade boringly, ruthlessly repetitive. They wait for the same shape to form, again and again, even if it takes days. Discipline doesn't look like excitement. It looks like boredom done right. Gap 2, the risk drift gap. This is where traders start adjusting their risk mid-session or mid-week. One win, and suddenly you feel bolder. You double size to capitalize on momentum. One loss and you cut risk in half, just in case. What you've done is unknowingly add randomness to your results. Let me tell you a secret. Even if your system has an edge, it needs stable execution to reveal it. If you keep tweaking size based on emotion, you're not following a strategy. You're gambling with a rulebook in hand. Set a fixed percentage risk. Stick to it for at least 20 trades before evaluating. Because until then, you haven't tested the system. You've only tested your feelings. Gap 3, the session drift gap. Ever planned to trade New York session, but found yourself peaking at Asian or London moves? I just wanted to see if anything clean was forming. No, you weren't watching. You were hunting. You weren't patient. You were bored. This is how overtrading creeps in disguised as curiosity. You start taking subpar setups outside your edge. And worse, you exhaust your decision-making energy before your main session even begins. The pros don't watch every market. They specialize. They build rhythm. They protect their mental bandwidth. Pick your session, pick your pairs, and treat them like your job, not your hobby. Gap 4, the journaling gap. You want to know the fastest way to become your own mentor? Journal your trades with brutal honesty. Not just win-loss, but did I follow the plan? Was the entry clean? Did I hesitate? Did I manage the trade emotionally or mechanically? And here's the real unlock. Review them weekly. Patterns will scream at you. You'll start seeing that your losses weren't always market noise, but mental noise. You'll find your Achilles heel. Maybe it's jumping in too soon or holding losers too long. And once you see it clearly, you can fix it surgically. Gap 5, the review gap. Most beginners chase new knowledge instead of reviewing what they've already collected. You don't need another YouTube breakdown of FVGs or liquidity sweeps. You need to watch your own trades like a coach watches game film. Ask yourself, what did I see before entry? What was my reasoning? What did I ignore? Was this trade within my system, or did I make excuses? That one habit alone separates amateurs from professionals, because trading is one of the few games where the opponent never changes. But you do. The market has been moving the same way for decades. The variable isn't the chart, it's you. Once you fix the 5 gaps, something shifts. You stop saying, this strategy stopped working. You start saying, I didn't stick to my edge and I see exactly where I slipped. That kind of awareness doesn't come overnight. It's built through painful honesty, through rewiring how you think about losses, and through committing to execution mastery, not just theory. Let me make this real for you with a chart story. Imagine a textbook setup. Break of structure, pull back into a clean FVG at a key level. Price taps in, gives a confirmation candle. Trade goes straight to 2R in minutes. But the trader didn't take it. Why? Because the last trade failed, so they hesitated. Now they're watching the thing they were trained to enter. Fly away. Strategy didn't fail. Fear did. Execution faltered. Another trader enters too early. They think they're getting in before the rest, but they skip confirmation, ignore imbalance cleanup, and get stopped out just before the real move. Strategy didn't fail. Impatience did. Execution drifted. This is where most traders lose years, not in market noise, but in emotional distortion. You can't optimize what you're not faithfully executing. So before you judge your system, ask if you're actually following it. The truth? You don't rise to the level of your strategy. You fall to the level of your discipline. And until that becomes your standard, no strategy will save you. Start small. Pick 1 trade per session to execute flawlessly. Log it. Rate it not on outcome, but on obedience to your plan. 10/10 execution gets celebrated, win or lose. Build the identity of a rule follower before you chase the rewards of a risk taker. And when the profits come, they'll feel earned, because they didn't come from luck, they came from mastery. If this is hitting home, and you're starting to realize that your strategy might be better than you thought, then good. That means you're on the edge of your breakthrough. Now would be a good time to step up your environment. If you're trading with unreliable execution tools or chart feeds, that's just another crack in the system. Register with a broker that respects precision, not one that games your entries. I've added a trusted option in the description. Only use it if you're ready to treat trading like a craft, not a gamble. And if you're serious about becoming a trader who survives and thrives, we're going deeper. We'll break the hidden emotional loops that cause even disciplined traders to sabotage good setups. You'll see why mastery isn't just mechanical, it's mental and emotional. And you'll walk away with a personal ritual you can use to reinforce consistency, even in high-pressure moments. You're not far off. You're just one shift away from execution precision. Let's make that shift next. If you want a deeper look at how pros execute with precision and how to stop sabotaging solid strategies, drop a comment below. If enough of you are ready to clean up your execution, we'll put something powerful together. You've cleaned up the entries, you've trimmed the indicators, you're even showing up to the same session, same pair, same time. But something still feels off. Not in the system, in you. You see the setup forming and something kicks in. Hesitation, overthinking, sudden doubt. Or maybe you enter right on time and then mismanage the trade the moment it moves against you. You cut it early. You overextend the target. You trail too tight. Then you watch it hit your original TP without you. That's not a strategy failure. That's an emotional loop. And until you break that loop, your system will keep taking the blame for decisions it never made. Let me tell you something no one says in the forums, or strategy breakdowns, or trading signal chats. Most traders don't trade their system. They trade their nervous system. Meaning, they react to the fear of losing, the thrill of winning, the doubt that creeps in after a red day. And then they wonder why the results are inconsistent. I had to learn this the hard way. I remember building what I thought was a bulletproof strategy: high RR, back-tested, great structure, tight risk. But on live charts, I kept finding ways to interfere. A little early entry here, a hesitation that caused me to miss the move there, a small manual override that felt smart in the moment. I wasn't trading my strategy, I was trading my psychology, dressed up as logic. That realization changed everything, because now the real work wasn't just refining the edge, it was protecting it from myself. Let me show you how that shift happens and how you can make it permanent. It starts with understanding the 3 execution triggers. 1. The anticipation trap. This is when you see your setup forming, but you feel the urge to act early. You tell yourself, if I wait for confirmation, I'll miss the move, or it's almost there, close enough. This is emotion disguised as logic. The real trader knows the edge doesn't live in almost, it lives in completed structure. If your plan requires confirmation, wait for it. Every time you jump in early and get punished, you reinforce reactive habits. Every time you wait, even if it doesn't trigger, you reinforce discipline. You don't just want a profitable strategy, you want a reliable trader executing it. That's you. 2. The hesitation hangover. This one usually shows up after a loss. Your last trade failed, and now you're second-guessing everything. Even when the same setup appears, clean, high-probability, rule-following dumbness, you pause, you think, you delay, and by the time you click, you're late or you skip it altogether. The pain of the last trade clouds the clarity of the current one. This is how traders develop trauma toward valid entries. To fix this, you need a pre-trade trigger ritual, something simple and repeatable that centers your focus on the now, not the last trade. Here's an example. Before every entry I ask, did I follow my criteria? Is this my setup or my emotion trying to act? Am I trading my plan or my pain? That 10-second check-in saved me years of inconsistent decision-making. Use it, or build your own. But whatever you do, don't let the ghost of one loss cost you your next 10 valid trades. 3. The management spiral. You're in the trade. It's running. Then price starts to pull back slightly. Now you're hovering over the close button. You tell yourself, I'll take partials early, just in case. Or, let me adjust my stop to break even before it hits 1R. What just happened? You switched from trader to emotional firefighter. This is what happens when the trade plan ends at entry. Your system needs to extend beyond the click. Every entry needs a predefined stop loss, target S, management condition, exit trigger. And once the trade is live, you don't touch it. You're not managing risk, you're managing fear. Here's what the pros know. Once you interfere, you're no longer trading probabilities, you're trading possibilities, and those are infinite. That's how consistency dies. Instead, decide all management rules before entry. Write them down, stick to them no matter how it feels. Track how often price obeys your plan, not your fear. That's how you train out the sabotage. Now, let's address the deeper layer, the mental framework that shapes how you show up to the chart. Emotional conditioning. You're not just reacting to charts, you're reacting to the beliefs you've built around them. Beliefs like, if I lose again, I'm not cut out for this. This trade has to work, or I'll blow the week. Other traders seem to win more often. I must be missing something. These aren't facts. They're emotional scripts you've internalized from pain, comparison, and overexposure to noise. And they're costing you executions. Here's what I want you to do. Build your pre-session mental warm-up. Just like athletes stretch and visualize before a game, you need to prep your mental space before a session. Here's a framework. 1. State your identity. Say it out loud or write it. I am a disciplined trader. I follow my rules. I don't need every trade, just the right ones. 2. Rehearse one execution principle. Pick a core rule and remind yourself, today I will wait for full confirmation. No early entries, even if it looks tempting. 3. Visualize the day's flow. Picture your ideal session. You see your setup, you enter clean, you manage without fear, you accept losses without panic, you log the trade and move on. This 5-minute ritual can rewire your trading psychology faster than any YouTube strategy video, because trading is behavior under pressure, and pressure will always reveal your preparation. One more thing, track behavior, not just results. Most traders only log wins and losses. You need to track, Did I follow my entry rule? Did I adjust my stop? Did I skip a setup I should have taken? Give each trade a discipline score, not just a profit score. That way, even on red days, if your execution was clean, you walk away with confidence. Confidence isn't built from green days. It's built from knowing you did your job regardless of outcome. Let's zoom out now. You're not trying to be right every time. You're building a body of work that reflects consistency over months, not minutes. The trader who wins is the one who makes fewer decisions, follows the same system under all emotional conditions, adjusts only after proper review, not reactive panic. That can be you. You're closer than you think. If the strategy didn't fail, stop tweaking it. Fix the human behind the mouse. That's where your breakthrough lives. You've done the backtesting. Now back yourself. Set your rules. Trade them exactly. Track what matters. And forgive the days that don't go your way, because you showed up clean. That's a pro. Not perfect, but present, prepared, and principled. And if you're ready to stop second-guessing your edge, you need a trading environment that supports precision. Register with a broker that doesn't slip your stops or freeze your screen when volatility spikes. I've left one I personally trust in the description. If you're ready to execute clean, that's your next move. Hit like if this helped reset your perspective. Subscribe if you're serious about trading mastery, not just random wins. And turn on notifications, because we're just getting started. The next script? We're going deeper into decision fatigue and how to stop burning your discipline bank before your best setup even shows. Clarity isn't just found in analysis. It's earned through disciplined action, one clean trade at a time. If this helped you see the gap between knowing your strategy and actually executing it, give it a like, share it with someone stuck in the same loop, and hit subscribe so you can start closing that gap for good.